Okay students, today we are going to start a new chapter of CBSE class 10 mathematics, that is the quadratic equation. So in this chapter we will be discussing about what is a quadratic equation, how to solve a quadratic equation to get the roots of the quadratic equation, and we will also discuss about the nature of the roots of quadratic equation. So let's start. So first let us see what is the standard form of quadratic equation. So I guess you have already studied about the quadratic polynomial. We know that quadratic polynomial is a polynomial which is having a degree of 2. Okay, so here also the same thing. Quadratic equation is basically a quadratic polynomial only, but we are equating it with 0. So here this is the standard form, that is ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, where a, b, c are the constants and x is our variable. So like example, x square plus 2x plus 2. Okay, in this case over here the value of a is 1, the value of b is 2, and the value of c is 2. Okay, so this is the basic standard format of quadratic equation. Now the quadratic equation, whenever we will solve quadratic equation, we will get two values of x. Okay, the values of x for which the quadratic equation becomes 0, or simply we can say the 0 of a quadratic polynomial. You have already studied about the 0 of a polynomial. So 0 of a polynomial is basically the value of x for which that polynomial is becoming 0. Now so in the same way, whenever we will be finding the value of x while solving quadratic equation, we will see that we are getting the two values of x. Okay, now those two values of x are called roots. Okay, the roots of the quadratic polynomial. Now this roots of this quadratic equation, it can be either real and equal. Okay, real and equal means they will be real number and they will have the equal value, or they can be real and unequal. Okay, they will be real number and they will be unequal. And the third is imaginary. Okay, it means that they will be unreal. Okay, so we will discuss this a little later. So first let's check whether the given equation is a quadratic equation or not. Okay, now see, we know that the format of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, so now what we will do over here, we will try to bring this equation in this format. Okay, if this equation does not come in this format, then it means that it is not a quadratic equation. So first what we will do, we will break this by using an identity, that is a plus b whole cube. So it will be x cube plus 2 cube plus 3 into x into 2 x plus 2, that is equals to 2x cube minus 2x. This is again x cube plus 2 cube plus 6x x plus 2, that is equals to 2x cube minus 2x. Again this will be x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus 12x, that is equals to 2x cube minus 2x. This will be x cube minus 2x cube plus 6x square plus 12x plus 2x plus 8 equals to 0. Now this becomes x cube plus 6x square plus 14x plus 8 equals 0. So as we can see, this is not coming in the format of ax square plus bx plus c, because we are getting a variable having a power of 3. Okay, so the overall degree becomes 3, but we need a equation or a polynomial which will be having a degree of 2. So this is not coming. So this is not a quadratic equation. Okay, now how we will find the roots of quadratic equation? Okay, so basically in order to find the roots of quadratic equation, we are having two methods. The first method is splitting the middle term, which is most commonly used, and the second is by using quadratic formula. Okay, so by using quadratic formula, this is the most efficient method, where you will simply put the formula and put the values of a, b, c, and you will get the value of x. So let us start with the first method, that is splitting the middle term. Okay, now suppose we are having this equation, x square minus 3x minus 10. Okay, so first what we will do, we will equate it with 0, that is x square minus 3x minus 10 is equals to 0. Okay, see, the first thing is what you have to do. We know that basic standard form, we know that standard form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Okay, first step, you will multiply this c with a. Okay, c with a, so over here the c is 10 and a is basically 1, so we will multiply 10 with 1, that is 10. Okay, so now what you have to do, you will have to find a pair of number which when multiplied gives 10. Okay, and which when added or subtracted, either added or subtracted, it gives this 3. Okay, so let us take an example. 5 multiplied by 2 gives us 10. Okay, and 5 minus 2 gives us 3. So this is the option which we will be taking. So instead of 3x, what we will write, we will write x square minus 5x minus 2x minus 10 equals 0. Okay, now remove the brackets. X square minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 equals 0. Now this will be, now what you will do, just take common from these two and from these two. So this will be x minus 5 plus 2 x minus 5 equals 0, and this will be, now see over here, x minus 5 and x minus 5 are common, so we will take these two as common, x minus 5, and the remaining will be this. Okay, now what you will do, you will equate both of this with 0. Okay, so this will be x minus 5 equals 0, where x equals 5, also x plus 2 equals 0, where x equals minus 2. Okay, so these are the two values of x. Okay, these are the two values of x, or we can say the roots of x, for which the quadratic polynomial is becoming 0. Okay, so this was by using splitting the middle term. Now let's try another question. Suppose this one, this is a little bit complicated. So what you will do, you see, first step, this is to root 2x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. Okay, so first step I told you, that is you will multiply c with a. Okay, so 5 root 2 multiplied root 2 will become 10. Okay, now we have to find a pair of numbers which when multiplied gives 10 and which when added or subtracted gives the middle one, that is 7. Okay, so we can write 5 2s are 10 and 5 plus 2 is 7. So instead of 7, what we will write, root 2x square plus 5x plus 2x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. Okay, this will be root 2x square plus 5x plus 2x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. Now we will take common from these two, that is x. This will become root 2x plus 5 plus, take common from the second one, that is root 2. This will be root 2x plus 5 equals 0. So this will be root 2x plus 5 x plus root 2 equals 0. Okay, now equate both of them with 0. So this will be root 2x plus 5 equals 0, and root 2x equals minus 5, x equals minus 5 by root 2. Okay, second one also, x plus root 2 equals 0, x equals minus root 2. Okay, so these are the two values of x, or we can say the roots of this equation. Okay, now let's see the other method, that is using quadratic formula. See, so our quadratic formula is x equals minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, where this b square minus 4ac is called the discriminant. Okay, discriminant, which we will be discussing a little later. Okay, so now try to solve the same question which we did just now by using quadratic formula. So in order to use quadratic formula, first we have to know the values of a, b and c. That's simple. The coefficient of x square is the value of a, that is a equals 1, b equals minus 3 and c equals minus 10. Okay, now as our formula suggests, x equals minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, you simply put the value of everything. So this will be minus of minus 3 plus minus root over minus 3 square minus 4 into 1 into minus 10 by 2 into 1. So this will be 3 plus minus root over 9 plus 40 by 2. Okay, which will be 3 plus minus root over 49 by 2. Again this will be 3 plus minus root under 49 is 7 by 2. Now see, there arises two conditions. One is 3 plus 7 by 2 and second is 3 minus 7 by 2. Okay, so this will be 10 by 2 and minus 4 by 2, which equals 5 and minus 2. See, we got the value of x, that is the 5 and minus 2. Okay, these are the same values which we got while using the middle term splitting method. Okay, see, we got the same value, that is x equals 5 and x equals minus 2. Now let's try another question, the same question which we did, that is this one. So over here the value of a is root under 2, the value of b is 7 and the value of c is 5 root 2. Okay, so our formula is x equals minus b plus minus root under b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, so this is minus 7 plus minus root over 7 square minus 4 into root 2 into 5 root 2 by 2 into root 2. So this becomes minus 7 plus minus root over 49 minus 40 by 2 root 2. This becomes minus 7 plus minus root under 9 by 2 root 2. This becomes minus 7 plus minus 3 by 2 root 2. Now two conditions arises, minus 7 plus 3 by 2 root 2 and minus 7 minus 3 by 2 root 2, which will become minus 4 by 2 root 2 and minus 10 by 2 root 2. Okay, so this will be minus 2 by root 2 and minus 5 by root 2, which is ultimately minus root 2 and minus 5 by root 2. Okay, now see, we got the same value which we got over here. Okay, here also we got the same value, x equals minus root 2 and minus 5 root 2, and here also we got the same value. So this is how you can use quadratic formula very easily to get the values of x. Okay, now we will see the nature of roots. So basically, like in the previous question, this one, we got two values of x, that is minus root 2 and minus 5 by root 2. So these are the two values of x which are basically unequal and they are real numbers. Okay, so how? See, basically, in order to find the nature of roots without solving the quadratic equation, because we saw that while solving the quadratic equation we are getting the two values of x, okay, the two roots of x, the two values of x, and those two values, it can be real numbers, basically those are real numbers only. It will be real numbers, or it can be equal and unequal. Okay, see, discriminant is b square minus 4ac. Now if this discriminant is greater than 0, the roots will be real and unequal. Okay, if the discriminant is equals 0, then the roots will be real and equal, and if the discriminant is less than 0, then the roots are imaginary. Okay, so basically these are the three conditions which can arise. Now let us check. Suppose this is a quadratic equation. Okay, 2x square minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. We know the value of a is 2, b is minus 4 and c is 3. You simply find b square minus 4ac, which is equals minus 4 square minus 4 into 2 into 3, which is ultimately 16 minus 24, which is equals 8. Okay, so we can see that this discriminant is less than 0. Okay, so as it is less than 0, so it means that the value of ax are basically unreal. Okay, unreal means it is imaginary, it does not comes in the real number. Okay, and these imaginary numbers you will study in higher classes when you will study about complex numbers. Okay, so this is how you can find the nature of roots of any quadratic equation. If this b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then the roots will be real and unequal. Okay, if the discriminant is equals to 0, then the roots are real and equal. So this is how you can find the nature of roots. Let us try this question. Find the value of k for which the quadratic equation has two equal roots. Okay, now see, if the roots are equal, it means that b square minus 4ac is equals to 0. Okay, over here this is a quadratic equation. First we have to bring it to the standard format, that is it will be kx square minus 2kx plus 6 equals 0. Okay, over here the value of a is k and the value of b is minus 2k, while the value of c is 6. Okay, now find the discriminant, or you simply, this will be minus 2k whole square minus 4 into k into 6, which is 4k square minus 24k. Okay, 24k. So this, as we already know that the discriminant will be 0, so we will equate this 4k square minus 24k equals 0. Now take common 4k, this will be k minus 6 equals 0, or we can simply say that k equals 0, k equals 6. Okay, k equals 6, but the thing is, which one should we take, this one or this one? See, in a quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c, this a should not be 0. Okay, this a, it should not be 0. So basically, if we are taking the value of k as 0, then the coefficient of x square is becoming 0. This is not possible. So what we will take? We will take the value of k equals 6. Okay, so this is a kind of question which you can get in your exam. So this is how you will solve it. Okay, so we have already studied about many things, that is the roots of quadratic equation, how you can find the roots of quadratic equation by two methods, and we also studied about the nature of the roots of quadratic equation. Okay, so we have finished this chapter. In the next video we will be starting a new chapter. So thank you for watching. We will meet in the next video.